What's up guys, this is TCG Sam here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a dual replay of pure Shaddolls with Shaddoll Schism against one of the top meta decks right now, Infernoble Knights. So anyways, I'm actually starting off here in Game 2, and I decided to show Game 2 first, because this is pretty much what happened in Game 1. Alright, so after that happened in Game 1, I decided I didn't really get to play, so there's no point in really showing that. So anyways, here, we actually opened Shaddoll Schism, which is going to be perfect to show you guys what it can really do in this deck. So, the theory behind Shaddoll Schism and why it's so good in pure Shaddolls is because of cards like Mathematician. Mathematician and Shaddoll Schism just gives you a one-card winda, and Schism in this case essentially acts as your 7th, 8th, and 9th fusion spell in addition to Shaddoll Fusion and El Shaddoll Fusion. Because Mathematician is just going to be sending Squamata, which can send any Shaddol, and then you just banish the Squamata and whatever Shaddol you sent to summon a free winda, which is just incredible. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to start off by normal summoning Mathematician. My goal here was to do what I just said, set up my graveyard for Shaddoll Schism, and use this Shaddol Fusion to be able to get value off the cards in my hand. So in this case, I actually kind of misplayed a little here. I added it to my hand. It was supposed to go straight to the graveyard. Like, I meant for it to be like the other way around. I was gonna send the Hedgehog, and Hedgehog was gonna add Squamata. Like, I don't think it makes that big of a difference in the long run, but yeah, that was completely my mistake. We both didn't catch it. But, like, it wouldn't have made a difference if I just sent the Hedgehog and added a Squamata. So anyways, I'm gonna summon the App Clone, and then I decide to summon a Nail Shell Ariel from my deck using the Shell Wendy, and then in this case the Hedgehog was gonna add Squamata. And then from here, I'm going to use Gravity Controller to trigger off my App Clone, which is why I love Gravity Control in this deck. I'm a huge advocate for it in any deck that plays Shaddolls, because you just get free value off of your fusions in the extra monster zone. App Clone at this point, I decided to add El Shaddoll Fusion because I wanted a way to make 2 windas on my opponent's turn in case he was able to out the first one with like a Dark Ruler or like just beating it over with the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. So I sent the Beast too, and the Beast was really good here because I was hoping to draw into like one of my hand traps, like Ogre, Imperm, or my Artifact Sanctums that I sided in for going first, or even a Paleozoic Dynamicious, just anything that would give me more disruption on his turn. I got a Shaddoll Wendy, which I guess isn't terrible, but I already had enough monsters for the El Shaddoll Fusion play, so this pretty much was just a blank card at this point. So at this point, I'm just gonna end my turn setting these two. And this way, it gives me a really cute play on my opponent's turn too, with the Nail Shaddoll and the App Clone in the graveyard, which you guys are about to see. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna play out his turn. He's gonna use the Durandal to add one of his Fire Warrior monsters from his deck to his hand. So he's gonna add Ogier, and then he normals the Ogier, sends, I believe, Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. So at this point, I thought he was gonna have a Infernoble Knight Renault in hand, which he did, but like I didn't know at the time. So I figured the only way to like stop the Gearfried from coming down, just beating over my guys, was to summon a window right now, so I can pretty much just force him to have one more special summon. So if he specials the Renault and adds this back, he still won't be able to make plays. So I figured that was my line of thinking. That's why I decided to activate El Shaddoll Fusion here. fusing away the gravity controller and the Shaddoll Schemata for a window. And the schemata here is really good because I sent Shaddoll Reincarnation. And what this means is on my opponent's turn, I can banish Resh and the app clone, flip up Ariel, and then Ariel summons back the app clone to have an extra negation on my opponent's turn. And if they're able to out the winda somehow, then I have a Schism to summon another winda, which is just why Schism is so powerful. Like a free fusion monster every turn without having to use like a fusion spell and using resources that are already in your graveyard is just so good. Which is why I believe this might actually be a 3 of Impure Shaddolls, and it's also going to pair really well with one of the cards that I'm playing in this deck. You don't see it in this duel, but I promise you guys it's pretty good and really underrated in my opinion. And I'll be actually showing you what that card is in the deck profile that I'm going to post of this deck in a couple of days, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Anyways, I figured here he would be unable to make more plays, but he actually plays Infernoble Arms Joyeuse, and I think it's a one-off, so like he drew pretty much one of the one card outs in his deck to like add back the gear feed and like beat over the window, which is just really unfortunate for me because that forced me to use so many more resources just to get rid of this gear feed, because now he's able to special the gear feed and in order to like make it so he doesn't equip something by attacking, like just equipping a window, I have to use my incarnation play to flip up Ariel, summon the app clone on his turn. So yeah, app clone, I'm forced to negate the gear feed, so I figure here he's gonna kill my window, that's fine, and then I'm gonna get a resource backup window, and then I have a Schism on his turn to continue making plays and just further stop him. So yeah, he uses Isolde, adds a guy, and when he sends 2 for cost, I decided this was definitely the right time to use Schism, because he would be forced to special that monster and he wouldn't have any more special summons for the rest of the turn. So that's exactly what happens. Schism, this is why I believe Schism is so good too, because you don't even have to banish only Shaddoll monsters. You can banish other stuff from your graveyard, and it doesn't like have any further restrictions, like you can only summon Shaddolls to the rest of the turn or something. So Schism is actually super underrated and actually really powerful. Yeah, I summon another winda, and he's stuck into his Oliver, so he can't really do much after this. So he just sets one and passes. And yeah, this was actually the card I was talking about. Sinister Shadow Games. The reason I played this, I'm going to explain in my deck profile more in depth, but I'm sure you guys can see the synergy between Schism and Sinister Shadow Games. But anyways, stay tuned for the deck profile where I explain why I actually play this card and why it's so good. So yeah, anyways, from here, since he has an extra deck monster, I can Shaddoll Fusion, summon like a construct and just kill him from there, and have a Schism backup for a third window in case he's able to out the other one. So yeah, after that he just decides to scoop. So moving on, we're going into game 3. I decided to actually side in triple Nibiru, triple Dark Ruler No More, and Dynaraster Pancratops, in addition to the Ogres and Imprims I have in my deck, because I just need to be able to stop him and have a fusion play on my turn to actually be able to break this board and win the game. So yeah, like I thought, he makes me go second, and unfortunately, we not only do we not have a fusion spell, we also don't have a hand trap. So this is just really bad, and at this point, I figured I pretty much lost unless I drew like some miracle card, or he like just bricks. And he actually tells me that at this point that he bricks, which is pretty good for me. So I'm thinking like maybe he'll just like have like one negate or something. But like it turns out he still pretty much has his full combo with the Isolde and everything, making the Link Cross, which is why this deck's just so powerful. Man, and he can make a Savage with the Tatsunoko too, which is just crazy. And on top of the Hauki Fibrax combo for Auroradon, and yeah, this is just really, really powerful. And there's not much I can do to stop it, of course. And from here, he's also able to surprisingly make an Adamantipator Risen Dragite, which is actually really good in any deck that makes Needle Fiber, because once Needle Fiber is in the grave, you just have a free spell or Trap Negate. In addition to, if you play Nibiru in your deck, you you can just use the effect to activate, and if you hit a Nibiru, you just return a card on the field for free. And its stats are really good. 3k22 is just really incredible. So yeah, I really didn't expect that. I thought he wouldn't have much, but this gives him his second negate, which is super problematic for me, because even if I draw like a fusion spell or a dark ruler, then like this hand just still becomes really hard to play. Luckily for me though, that's all you can do with the set imperm. And I have to just hope at this point. I'm not even sure what I can really draw to get me out of this. Even if I drew Dark Ruler, I would still need to rely on Mathematician, sending Beast draw 1, then crashing Mathematician for another draw. So like I'd be drawing 2 cards, hoping to draw like a Shaddoll Fusion or something. So I can, and a Shaddoll monster, because like at this point also I don't have enough materials to actually make a Shaddoll monster, even if I draw like a fusion spell or something. This makes me want to consider playing one Shaddoll Shekinaka in the extra deck. You certainly have room, because I'm playing 3 constructs. Turns out you rarely ever, at least in my experience, I rarely ever make construct. So like 2 constructs and 1 Shekinaka might actually be good to be able to use the Mathematician. So that's a change I definitely recommend you keep in consideration. So yeah, at this point, my thought process is I need as many draws as possible to dig into Dark Ruler no more to try to out his board and make a fusion play. So I normal summon Mathematician, he lets it go. I thin out my deck as much as possible by sending Squamata. And then Squamata is gonna send, I believe, Shaddoll Beast to draw 1, because I'm like, I really need to draw like a Dark Ruler or another like trap, or Shaddoll Schism, or even like anything that lets me play on his turn, like Shaddoll Schism, a Sinister Shadow Games. I just need any of that, because at this point I have a Dino. I know for sure he's probably gonna negate these 2, so I need one more thing to bait out 1 negate, so I can actually resolve my fusion spell. It turns out Shaddoll Beast is able to draw Shaddoll Fusion. I figured there's no point in really using it, because even if I fusion, I know for sure he's gonna negate 100%. And if I try to L fusion, which I can't even to begin with because I don't have a material, he would just negate it again, and then I have no other place. So I decided to actually keep it in hand and use it like kind of as a bluff on his face down, or at this point crash Mathematician, hopefully draw a Dark Ruler no more, so I can Dark Ruler his board, activate Shaddoll Fusion, and try to just kind of win from there. So like I actually drew one of the cards I needed, but now all of my hope like rested on this Mathematician dying to add to draw 1 Dark Ruler or something else that lets me play on my opponent's turn. But unfortunately, like I just draw a Trick Clown. This is super bad, because I can't really do anything with the Trick Clown. It's like I even sided out the Damage Juggler because I figured I wasn't going to be able to resolve fusion. So yeah, this is just really bad, and at this point all I can hope is for him to negate a Shaddoll Incarnation, so I can actually resolve my Shaddoll Fusion to get like some board presence on his turn with Construct, Wendy, and Trick Clown. So I believe I actually did as much as I could. I played to all my outs. I got 2 draws, and I still wasn't able to break his board, because unfortunately I could only draw 1 of the 2 necessary cards I needed to actually out his board. But it happens. I didn't open that well to begin with, so this game was probably kind of lost from the beginning. But anyways, I decide to do all my plays in the standby phase before he can summon his Gearfried to negate my monsters, because Gearfried can actually use this equip spell, I believe, to negate a monster effect, and I didn't want that because I needed as many things to resolve as possible. So I was hoping Resh was able to bait out one of his negates, because I was like, oh, I'll target Squamata so I can pop a monster and block an attack. And he actually does decide to negate, luckily for me. So I chain Dino Mistress, which I know for sure he'll negate with the other negate. And then I'm finally able to use my Shaddoll Fusion and Resolution. So here, if I had drawn like another Shaddoll monster, this would have been great, because I would have been able to trigger 2 Shaddoll effects and maybe put up a Shaddoll App Clone to kind of force out his impermanence and negate his Borlo Savage, taking away this equip spell, which would have been huge actually. But like at this point, I guess Trick Clown was good enough in that I could actually make a construct and use my construct and my Wendy's effect. Surprisingly, he doesn't impermanence the construct, which I thought he would, but anyways, that's besides the point. So construct and Wendy, I figured at this point there was not much I could really send off a construct to really survive, except like send Shaddoll Beast to draw a card, maybe draw an ogre to actually maybe protect me one turn by taking away one of his monsters, because at this point there wasn't any Shaddoll card that I could send that would actually save me in this situation. I guess in hindsight I could have sent Squamata, then sent Beast to like thin out my deck by one more card to hopefully draw what I needed. But unfortunately, I don't think I was able to get anywhere with the Beast draw, so I'm forced to just set Dragon with Wendy and hope that's enough to survive. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So at this point, I draw a Foolish Burial. And I know it's pretty much over because he just summons the Gearfried, adds the Phoenix Blade. So now he has like more plays with this. Oliver becomes a level 1, so he's able to use the Dragite and the Oliver to make a Charles. And then finally he has a Smoke Grenade of the Thief. So at this point, if I drew an Ogre, I would have been able to Ogre the Charles, force out the Gearfried, and then if he didn't have Impermanence either, like then my construct would be a problem for him and I wouldn't die. But like he just had everything in this situation to out my board, and I didn't draw the cards I needed. Like I had 3 chances to draw an Ogre or something, but I just didn't draw anything that I needed in this case, which is just super unfortunate. But like I guess it happens, and there's not much I can do about it. So anyways, in the chat, he actually tells me he's got to do something, which I found pretty funny. Actually, it's a pretty lighthearted ending to this. After he took a dump on me, he had to go, clean up his kid's dump. But anyways, he finally imprims my construct, and at this point, I just know it's over because he's able to take my construct with the Gearfried, absorb it with the Gearfried, and negate my dragon with his Gearfried effect. And the last cards in my hand aren't going to do anything, so at this point I just scoop it up and he wins. So anyways guys, I hope that was entertaining for you. Hopefully you learned something new, like how to play this deck. And like I said earlier, be sure to stay tuned on my deck profile where I explain the thoughts behind why I played certain cards, and my secret tech, Sinister Shadow Games. I'm going to explain why it's so good and why I believe that's necessary in this pure Shaddoll build. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching once again. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe because it really helps keep me motivated to keep posting videos. But anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you soon.